What's up, Team Blue? What's up, man? Yeah, Dave. I looked at IMUC. It looks like it could run if it breaks over that 41.5 cents area. There's also CLNT and BLDP maybe. MNKD too. Oh, and CDNA. My watch list is CLNT, BLDP, MNKD, ANY, CDNA, EHIC, ROKU, SNCR, and HMNY. Hey, so what's the picture look like, guys? Is the picture clear? That's what I want to make sure. I'm using it in a different recorder today because this one I think is live instead of having that delay. And so, what's the picture like? Good morning, Marwan. So yeah, so I like CLNT over that $5.06 area. But if it can break over that $5 area, the whole dollar break plus the pre-market break will give it a lot of momentum, I think. So I'm going to be watching CLNT. Oh man, I'm also going to be watching CDNA over that 6.7 area and IMUC over that 41.5 cent area. There's also BLDP over that 5.5 for the half-dollar break, but it doesn't have as much volume, and so I'm going to be watching that one. It could break. You never know. It looks good, Grizzy. Good, man. All right, yeah. See, I used to use OBS Studio, but I don't like that one as much. I just like the old-fashioned OBS, not the Studio version. It's easier to use. Good. Let's see if I can find anything else moving. Like I said, I'm watching ROKU too. We'll see if that one can run. It's a recent IPO. It's been moving a little bit in pre-market. It's at 23.75 now. Also watching, let me see, ANY. ANY's up a little bit. It had a little bit of a push on Friday. It's at 1074 now. And EHIC, I traded this one on Friday as well. This one popped over Friday's high right here. And so it's over $12 now at 1201. SNCR maybe. We'll see what SNCR does. This one dropped down a little bit since the last time I looked at it, so it's a little bit lower. I think it's right at where it closed at, so we'll see what that one does. And then HMNY. HMNY over 16.23 might be a good long, I don't know. We'll see what that one does. But yeah, my main watch is really CLNT just because it has this whole dollar and pre-market break right around the same time. If it can happen at the same time, simultaneously, it might be a good long play. So I'm going to be watching that one. ANY. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, ANY is all the way over Friday's high of the day, and so we'll see if it can push for $3. That's the next. Let me see the daily chart. Yeah, the next resistance is right around $3. Unless you, I mean, this one could be counted as a resistance at 266, but the next major one's at about $3, and so that would be my goal if I got in that one at the open, is to make it to $3. So we'll see what that one can do, but I'm going to be watching CLNT, CDNA, what else? EHIC. Yeah, to be honest, there's not that much movement in pre-market this morning. It's a little bit slow, and so we'll see what it does at the open. We'll see how much volume we get. It's been a little bit slow. RPRX, Grissy. Let me see. Oh yeah, I did have this one on my watch list as well. Yeah, I like this one if it can break over 67 cents. So we'll see. As long as it holds over that $0.50, I like it to keep going up. But if it can't hold that $0.50, I don't like it. But we'll see if it can break that 67-cent high of Friday. But yeah, this one was on my watch list from for today as well. You're in at 270, Dave, on ANY. Yeah, we'll see that if that one can make that push up to $3. That's his next resistance point, So we'll see what it does. Oh yeah, LINU maybe too. See, LINU gave a little bit up, but it's holding over that $2 point. And it made such a big rip on Friday that it was bound to give up some of it. It had to pull back some, but it's holding over that $2. And so we'll see what it does to see if it can make that big push back up to the $3 area, maybe the 250s. So I'm going to be watching LINU as well. TTNPMAR, let me see. Yeah, it's at 275, but see, this one just doesn't have that volume. It's just not moving that much in pre-market, so I don't know if I like it, just because it's, it needs to pick up a little bit more volume. Like, it gapped up a decent amount, but the volume's not there. So we'll see what this one does. It's just not my cup of tea. I like it when they move a little bit more in pre-market, like CLNT, for example. This one moved a decent amount in pre-market, so you can actually see a flag pattern or see a setup. This one, it just didn't move at all. It's just one candle, so I don't know if I necessarily like it, but it could run. There's no telling. I'll look at the daily, see what the next resistance point is. See, this one has a decent daily. So yeah, if this one can break over that 265 area, it has a little bit of room until 3, and so we'll see what that one does as well. But the daily's not bad. I just don't like the 1 minute, just because it's not moving that much in pre-market. So see, I wonder if there's a delay for this recorder as well. I'm watching it on my laptop. It looks like there's a delay on it. We'll see. Let me see how much of a delay. Let me count this down. Yeah, there's a 30-second delay, or maybe a 20-second delay, which isn't nearly as bad as the other one I was using on OBS Studio. So this one isn't nearly as bad. So I'll probably use this one from now on if it's clear. Alright, guys, I'll be back. I'm going to go make myself some coffee so I can get ready for the open. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Good morning, Kay. Oh, man. Okay, so well, see, here's my watch list from yesterday. Oh yeah, RNN. Let's see what RNN is doing. See, I like this one just because it held this push from Friday, but it's not moving that much. So we'll see if this one can wake up a little bit at the open. RNN. What else was I watching? TENX. Yeah, see if this one can break over that $0.50. It's just under that now. For TENX, I like it to keep pushing. We'll see what it does. MNOV, Andre. Let's see. Yeah, it still has relative low volume. Not moving too much. Possibly if it breaks over this $6.45 area, the 640 or 645, it has some room, but we'll see. The volume's just not there for me. Okay, so we'll see what the market gives us this morning. There's also TROV. We'll see if this one can make another push. So I'll probably watch TROV. We'll see though, the last time it gapped up, it gave it all away once the open hit and dropped all the way down to that 80-cent area after Friday's gap up. And so we'll see if it can hold it this time and keep pushing up. Jivo. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, I like Jivo. See, I'm actually holding one share of Jivo in UStock. When I first opened up my UStock account, I was trying to learn how to buy and sell, and to execute orders. And so to learn, I bought one share of Jivo, and it's only worth 79 cents. So I'm actually going to lose 20 cents or 30 cents if I sell it. And so I still have that one share of GEVO that I've been holding for the last 4 months. Maybe one day it will go to 100 and I'll make $100 from it, but we'll see, If not, I'll just have to hold this thing until it dies or pushes up. Yeah, GEVO is making that push this morning though. Just since I've opened up the window, it's gone up 3 or 4 cents. Let's check out the daily. Yeah, it's got a little bit of room to at least 82 cents or 96. We'll see if it can push over that. A little bit of resistance here at 76. So we'll see what that one does. But man, look at that push. Wow. So yeah, I found some support at that 76-cent area. So yeah, this one's looking nice. Definitely moving some. The volume is really nice. Good call, Grissy. All right, so we got CLNT, GEVO now, CDNA maybe, ANY, EHIC, TENX. I'm curious to see if TENX can break over this 50-cent area. Sitting right under that 50-cent area, so I want to see it break and then possibly break this 53-cent point, see if it can keep running. We got EHIC over the highs of Friday, so we'll see if it can hold 12. We still got GEVO running up really big, so it's moving nicely. Yeah, see, Grissy, a lot of times it gets rejected at that $1 point. That $1 point's the biggest resistance for these little cheap stocks. So I actually like it. Get in early, ride it up for that $1 push, and then get out at $1. But trade ideas are all subjective, so everybody's going to have a different idea. But you got to make your own idea. But yeah, it could work over $1, you know. If it can break that 96-cent point where it had that previous resistance, it could break $1. We'll see. DXTRK. See, I traded DXTR back in the day. Let me see what it looks like now. If it can break over this point, I mean, it has a little bit of room to fill this gap between 25 and 26 cents, but it's not that much room. So we'll see if it can break over this 26.5 cent area and keep pushing up. CYCC. Yeah, not a ton of volume, but if it can hold over 2, it could keep pushing up. We'll see. Yeah, I went over TROV. It's sitting right at $1 right now. And then CLNT. Yeah, I like CLNT too if it can break over that 5.506 point. Like I said in my videos, the more setups and patterns that are going on simultaneously, you know, at the same time, the better your odds are in that trade. So if CLNT can break over this 5 point and this pre-market high at 506 and keep pushing up, you know, it's a good setup to me, and I might jump in it. We'll see though. We'll see how I do at the open. Something I've noticed I do is that usually my first trade is a losing trade. If you watch all my previous videos, you'll see that I lose on my first trade a lot, and then I end up making it back either right afterwards or a little bit later on in the day. So I need to work on maybe just not getting in that first trade, but we'll see. Yeah, it looks like GEVO slowed down a little bit, but that's a decent flag pattern it has right there. It bounced right off that 80-cent area right here. So we'll see if it can keep pushing up, breaking that 86-cent high. CLNT is making this big push late. Wow. This candle went all the way up to 623, but back down to 550s, but it jumped up from that 4.84 area, so that's a big move. See, the only thing I'm worried about this one is that it's going to get a little bit too overextended. It's going to be too much of a gap up, and it's going to wash out. Hey, buddy. Hold on. Go back in there, okay, bud? Okay. Thank you. Sorry, my kids are home from school today since it's Columbus Day. So we'll see what CLNT does. It just made that big push up here. Broke over $6 and then bounced back down. So that opens it up for a break of the pre-market high play, getting in after 623. If GVO can actually stay under this 86-cent point, it opens it up for a break of the pre-market high play at the open as well. So we'll see what that one does. Yeah, CLNT is pushing up, Andre. That's what I was saying. It made this big push up to 623. Now it's at 560s, but if it holds over that $0.50 at 550, it could keep pushing up. So we'll see what it does. We'll see if it starts to try that 623 high. We'll see. But it looks like GEVO might break that 86-cent high now. We'll see if it gets rejected. If it does get rejected at 86 cents, it kind of leaves it open for that 86-cent break at the open. So that might be a good entry. These little cheap stocks under $1 are tricky though. CLNT starting to push back up. It's at 584 now. So it's definitely moving in pre-market some. Volume's good. And we'll see if TROV can hold over that $1 point. We'll see. I'm also watching BLDP. It got rejected hard at the 550s. It got rejected right at 549. And so we'll see if that one can move. It has a little bit less volume. ROKU, is moving up a little bit too. It's a little bit more expensive of a stock. So we'll see what ROKU does. It's at $23.95 right now. So we'll see if it can break over 24 at the open. ANY starting to move a little bit too in pre-market. Not a ton, not that much volume, but it's moving a little bit, so we'll see what that one does as well. Yeah, CLNT got rejected. We'll see. See, it held that 550s area support nicely though. You can see the flag pattern forming here. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry. My kids are home from school today, and so I had to go get them something, but Columbus Day, huh? I don't know why they're off of school for Columbus Day. It's Columbus Day, you know? But we'll see. Okay, so looks like CLNT is finding some support at that 550 area. That's the crucial point for it right now. If it can hold over this 550 area, looks good. CGen, Andre. See, I looked at this one pre-market. Oh wow, so this one actually picked up a little bit in pre-market. Yeah, so I like this one now that it's moving a little bit more. It just broke over $4. Good call, Andre. We'll see what this one can do. Yeah, my main watch is probably CLNT to see if it holds that 550 area and keeps pushing to break $6. That's probably my main one. Looks like GEVO just broke over that pre-market high at 86 cents, or at least it's testing it now. So we'll see if that one can keep pushing as well. I want to see if CGen can hold that $4 point. Maybe have a red to green move. Washout long setup. We'll see what that one does as well. Alright guys, we got 9 minutes. 9 minutes, guys. MTBC. We'll see what MTBC does as well. It's right at 295. I know Chi and Q from the chat are watching it, and so we'll see what this one does. It's at 295 now, so I want to see it break over 3 and really just break over this 322 point to see if it can run a little bit. GEVO broke up to 89 cents, but then got rejected back down to 85 now. We'll see what that one does. CLNT is kind of slowly grinding back up to test this $6 area. So we'll see what that one does as well. CLNT's right at 598 now. Yeah, it's almost time for me to open up an account with SureTrader and start trading pre-market a little bit. Maybe use Thinkorswim actually and just start trading pre-market and after hours a little bit so I can swing trade a little bit more. I've been doing it on Robinhood, but on Robinhood and UStock, you can't trade pre-market or after hours, which is frustrating. So it's almost time for me to open up another account. CLNT got rejected at that $6 point. It's at 590s now. Alright guys, 7 minutes until the open. I'm going to trade at the open. I'm not going to trade long though. I might trade for 30 minutes at the open to see if I get into 1 or 2 trades. Alright, so I'm still watching CGen to see if it holds over $4 at the open. We'll see what that one does. Watching GEVO. MTBC's testing that $3 area in pre-market now. So we'll see if that one can push over 3 and hold. Also watching ANY to see if it can break that 275 area. CLNT's right at $6 now, so we'll see if it can break over and hold this time. You got in a pre-market trade, Andre, on SureTrader with CLNT. Looks like you probably made some money on it. Where'd you get in at? Where was your entry? Good trade. Alright guys, 5 minutes until the open. Good luck everybody today. Let's hope we all make some money. Protect your accounts. So CLNT still sitting at that $6 point. We'll see what that one does. MTBC finally broke over that $3 area. Now it's at $3.10. So that's a nice break. It has a little bit of room till $3.25. So we'll see if that one can run up. CLNT sitting right at that $6 area now. The bid's at $5.95. The ask is at $6.04. So right in between at $6 right now. You got $4.98 average. It's a good average. Yeah, Andre, it didn't stay over 6 for very long. You can see that big wick it had on that candle right here. It popped over 6 and then went right back down. So it's breaking over it now though. And so CLNT is probably my main watch for the open. We'll see what happens, but it's probably my main watch. MTBC starting to look a little bit better for me, and I'll be watching CGen and GEBO as well. Also watching BLDP, ANY. ANY is making a little bit of a push now. It's up to the 280s. HMNY, TENX to see if it can break over that 50-cent point in Roku, ROKU, to see if it can hold over $24. All right, guys, 3 minutes. Two minutes. Good luck, all. All right, so it looks like CLNT broke over that $3 area. HMNY is at $16.10 now, so we'll see what that one does as well. But I'm going to be watching these 4 for my main watches. And then on the other screen, I'm watching BLDP, Roku, TENX, ANY, and HMNY. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get some good setups this morning, guys. All right, so we got about a minute left, guys. GEVO is giving some up. It dropped back down to 81 cents now, 82 cents. So we'll see what that one does. CLNT is starting to give a little bit of it up too, down to 576, so it couldn't hold $6. See, I'm worried CLNT is going to wash out at the open just because it's up so much already. It's up a decent amount already. So we'll see what that one does. Watching for MTBC to see if it can hold $3. Watching CGen to see if it can hold $4. So 30 seconds, guys. All right, here we go. Watching CLNT, see if it can hold. Also MTBC. Might get in on the first pullback on CLNT if it keeps running. Looks like it's going to. All right, I'm in CLNT with a small share size of 20 shares. We'll see if it can keep pushing up. If not, I should be able to get out for a small loss with 20 shares just to see if it can push that 650s area. Yep, it dropped down to 670. 694. All right, so I'm out CLNT for a $11 loss. Not what I wanted to see. And the thing about it is it probably will end up bouncing back and pushing back over $6. And so that's the frustrating thing about it. We'll see if I can bounce back from that $11 loss. See, there it goes, right back up to the highs. I got spooked out too early. We'll see if I can make it back. See? But UStock labeled it limited liquidity, and so I don't know if I'll get back in it. All right, so $11 loss. We'll see what else. ROKU starting to push up. INTT. INTT is not supported. See, CLNT had that fake out. I just don't know if I trust it now. ANY looks like it's running a little bit. Watching BLDP. CGen looks like it's giving it up. Not a ton of volume. Watching BLDP. And CGen and ANY. ANY is pushing that $3 area now, guys. We'll see what that one does. I'm also watching BLDP. Look like a possible red to green move. We'll see what that one does as well. See, I missed this one a little bit. Let me see if I can get in a little bit early. See, that's too big of a candle for me. I don't know if I want to get in ANY now. Wait for a pullback. Yeah, ANY is pushing up nicely. Wait for a pullback here. All right. There we go. I like that pullback. All right, so I'm in ALY. on the pullback. We'll see if it can keep pushing up. Testing that 350s area is really what I want it to do. I'm going to hold this one until it breaks $3 if I do get out. Go ahead and set a stop loss at 295. All right, so I got a stop loss set at 295 for ANY. I'll let it run a little bit, see if it can push up, breaking that high. See LNT starting to push up. See LNT broke that high of the day. All right, so there goes ANY. Oh man, it got rejected there. I don't like that wick. There we go, right back up to 339. We'll see if it can push that 350s area, guys. That 350s area for ANY is going to be the biggest support and resistance. There he goes, up to 350s. We'll see if it can hold over that 350s area. There we go, 364, 367. I'm gonna get out there. All right, so I got out for a $9 profit on that. So now I'm only down $3 on the day. We'll see if I can rebound this other $3 to have a green day again. Yeah, Andre, that pullback, you see, if y'all watch my previous video, I go over what I look for right at the open. And what I look for is that first 1 minute pullback is one of my favorite entries. And you can see how effective it is right here. You know, you can see that one red candle and then it just ran. You know, and I might have gotten out a little bit too early, but I made about $9 on the trade, so I'm down $2 or $3 on the day. So I was able to compensate. I always told y'all earlier, my first trade is usually a losing trade, but I usually end up bouncing back from it. RPRX. Man, MNKD's washing out. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. See, this looks like a good setup too. Yeah, I'm watching RPRX to see if it gets over that 63 point, and then the next resistance is at that 67 cent point, so we'll see. I'll probably just get in small with this one. Okay, so there it goes. It broke over that 64 cent area. All right, so I'm in RPRX with just a small share size of 100 shares. Relatively low risk with this one just because I use such a small share size. I ultimately want to see it break over that 67 cent area. There it goes. 65. I probably should have used a little bit more shares than just 100 shares, but we'll see what this one does. 66. That 67 cent area is the most important part for this one, right here. So we'll see if this one, RPRX, can break over that 67 cent area. That's where that high of Friday was. It might pull back a little bit, maybe to 65, and then make that push. So we'll see. CLNT is still running too, guys. Yep, RPRX. I'm in it with 100 shares. Like I said, it may pull back to that 65 cent area. It really kind of needs a pullback now just because it's a little bit overextended. But yeah, CLNT is running, guys. CLNT is up to $7.37. See, RPRX is struggling to get over that pre-market high. We'll see what this one does. It's struggling. CLNT just broke over that $0.50. It got rejected back down though. RPRX dropping back down. If it gets down to that 63 cent area, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out. That's a big pullback. We'll see. If it can break under that 63 cent area, I'm going to get out of it. Watching this one closely. Okay, so I set a stop loss on RPRX for 62.5 cents. That's ultimately the biggest crucial point. So if I get stopped out, it's a $2.50 loss, and so I'm just going to give it a little bit of time to see. And if I get stopped out, it's okay. It's a very small loss, but if it breaks under that, then that breaks that previous support line where that previous resistance was. And so I'm watching it, but we'll see what that one does. CLNT, see, I got out way too early on CLNT. I got spooked out after it broke under $6. So it would have been a killer trade for CLNT, but I got spooked out of it. ANY couldn't hold that gain after that first 1 minute pullback, and so it's starting to wash out some. HMNY is pushing up nicely. BLDP just looks like it couldn't keep pushing. Look at HMNY over 17. Might be a good play over 17. Man, CLNT is pushing up. A little bit too late for me to chase it now, though. Man, look at HMNY and CLNT. They're making big pushes. RPRX hitting that 67 cent area. There it goes, 68 cents. We'll see if it can hold 68. Man, HMNY is making that big push. Yeah, CLNT needed a pullback after that big run. Yeah, I'm still watching RPRX. I don't really like that last candle where it broke over the pre-market high and then got rejected back down, so we'll see. It needs to hold over that 67 cent area. There it goes. There we go. Watch its RPRX, see what it does. 69. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this. So I got out for a $4 profit on RPRX. So I'm green $1 on the day. Got out a little bit too soon, man. Wow. Missed that one. Yeah, like I said in my other video, that's something I for sure need to work on. I get spooked out of trades too easy, but oh well. Green on the day, I can't get mad. I had such a small share size, I'd only be up maybe $2 or $3 more, so we'll see what it can do, but missed out on that big push at the end. Man, up to 74. Nice call, Grissy. Yeah, it could go up to 80, man. We'll see. HMNY's running too. Watching CLNT now. Man, I missed the boat on RPRX. It's a bummer I got out of that thing, man. Watching CLNT now to see if it can hold over $8. It's already up such a huge amount already. I think it closed yesterday at 350, 340s. And so, man, it's up over 100% on the day. So I don't know if I like CLNT actually. It's just up so much. HMNY is a decent runner. I really like this pattern here. I was getting too distracted with RPRX with my little 100 shares that I missed out on HMNY and CLNT. Yeah, for CLNT, I don't like this though. This is a big tell whether it's going to wash out or not. So when it pops over that for a split second and then drops back down, I really don't like that. Usually, a lot of times it'll wash out after it tries to break over a whole dollar and then fails. So we'll see what that one does. Yeah, I think 80 is coming, Grissy. We'll see what happens, man. I had the worst exit possible for RPRX. I got in looking for that pre-market high break, and it broke it really well. But I got out right before this big jump at 69 cents. So you can see here, I got out right here, right before these two big candles. So the worst exit ever. Oh well. Technically, I'm green $1 on the day, so I can't get mad. It's not a red day. But worst exit ever on RPRX. And see, the problem is that first losing trade I had on CLNT, it would have been a big winner. You know, I got in right here, and I could have made so much money from this trade, but I got spooked out, and so there it goes, Grissy, breaking 80 cents, man, all the way up to 82 cents now. Big run. Let's see what the daily looks like on this one. Wow. Yeah, see, it was filling that gap right here. Yeah, it might come into resistance here, though. 78 cents, so it's the key level. So if it drops down and holds that 78 cents as support, it's really nice. Or if it just doesn't even bother it and it keeps pushing up, that's good too. HMNY is having a big pullback. But man, big move on RPRX. But yeah, see, that's the problem, guys, is that each one of my trades today, you know, the pattern I got in was correct. You know, the CLNT, it was a correct trade. You know, if I would have just held it instead of bailing out, it would have been a winner. You know, I made money. I made about $9 on ANY. I made a decent amount of money on RPRX. The problem with all of them, except for ANY I exited about at the right time. I got out in the 360s. Its high was 370. So for all my trades aside from ANY, they were winning trades. They were profitable trades. I just exited way too soon, especially with CLNT and apparently RPRX. And so, you know, while I did exit too soon, it gives me confidence that my patterns that I'm trading are working. And so, you know, I can't be too upset. That just means my trade ideas were correct. But I just got out way too soon. Now look, ANY is starting to test that previous high at the 370s, at 370. So we'll see if it can break over it now. Hopefully it keeps pushing up. I don't know if I like this entry though. It's a little bit risky just because I like it if it breaks over this 370 area and holds it as support. We'll see. Yeah, so RPRX, it might be a good entry now to get in on the pullback and then ride it up to $1. We'll see though. I don't know if I'm going to do it. If ANY gets rejected here, it's starting to form a flat top. So we'll see if RPRX is a good pullback. Yeah, ANY, triple top. You can see this triple top on ANY. Somebody said they were holding ANY overnight in pre-market. I can't remember who it was. Let me see. Oh, it's Dave Brown. Dave Brown said he was in ANY. So that was a good trade. Yeah, check out this pullback on RPRX. Remember, I think that 78-cent level is key for RPRX, like I said earlier. And look at that. It bounced right off of 78. So we'll see if it can hold this 78-cent level. If you look at the daily chart, that's a key support and resistance line at 78 cents on RPRX. And so we'll see if it can hold that as support. I hope y'all see how I did that. I looked at the daily chart before it even bounced off of this 78-cent area. You know, I did say that this 78-cent area was key and that, you know, if it can hold that as support, it might keep pushing up. So that's the crucial point. If it breaks under that, I don't like it. If it holds over that, I like it. So we'll see what it does. ANY starting to push up. There it goes. Broke the high a day. Looks like ANY is going to at least try 4. I want to see it hold over this point for a little bit. See, we'll see if ANY can hold this previous high as support right here. If it can do that, it might be a good play, but I'm watching it. I know, Grissy. See, the problem with UStock is that it doesn't have any of those super, those complex stops. I just have a good old-fashioned stop, and it's just called get out on UStock. And so that was my problem. You know, in CLNT, you can see that was the first one I traded in the day. I took an $11 loss on it, but it was a good trade idea. That thing pushed up really nicely. I just got spooked out when it dropped under 6. And even right after, hold on. Oh, I got a horrible fill. All right, so I'm in ANY with 20 shares. See if it'll test 4 now. Horrible fill. I started the trade down a few dollars. Man, I don't like that pullback. I'm going to go ahead and set a stop for 370 on this one. 369. Man, dang, it got stopped out immediately after that. So I'm down $5. So overall on the day, I am down $3 so far. We'll see if I can bounce back. And see, the problem is that this one will probably, it just barely hit my stop loss. I might get back in it. Yep. The problem with that one is that it barely hit my stop loss. Man. I might be over trading for this stream, guys. I gotta be careful. That's an ugly pullback on ANY too. Bad. I'm out. Alright, so I'm down about $10 on the day again. See, I feel like I'm over trading for this stream, but it's okay. I haven't had a red day in like 2.5 weeks, and so I guess it's about time for me to have a red day on stream if that happens. Alright, so I'm watching RPRX. Yeah, that might be a good trade, Grissy. We'll see what it does, man. Let me see what else is moving. I've been watching the same 4 stocks all morning. If ANY starts to push up after having 2 losing trades on it, I'm going to get frustrated. Ooh, that's a big pullback on RPRX. See, I told you that 78-cent area is the crucial part for RPRX, so we'll see what that one does. But if it can hold over that, it might be okay, but we'll see. It's a tough one. TENX is starting to push back up, fellas. I'm going to be watching that one to see if it can break that 50-cent area. Really, Grissy, we'll see, man. I don't know. RPRX, you got to look at the daily chart. If you look at the daily chart, I mean, the daily chart, you can see here, this was a gap fill. The reason it pushed up is because it filled this gap right here where there was no support and resistance lines. And now once it got to the top of that, you can see it's finding resistance right here at this 80-cent area. 78 and 80-cent area. So that's why I said that 78-cent area is crucial, because you could see here, right here is where that previous, once it broke under this 78-cent area, that's where the gap ends. So not as much room over this 78-cent area, but we'll see if it can hold. It could. It's possible. You know, and you can see here now that 78-cent area where that gap ended is acting as support. And so if it can keep pushing up, it might be a good play. We'll see though. Yeah, Andre, that may be a good idea. I can, you know, you can't tell. It's holding that 78-cent area as support, but once it breaks, you know, I'd be really careful if it breaks under that 78-cent spot. There it goes. Right when I was saying it broke under that 78 cent. We'll see if it makes this big drop. Now, it's okay if it drops under it for just a second and then pops back over it, but if it stays under that 78-cent area and just lingers under it, I don't like it. We'll see, though. I'm watching the TENX. Yeah, see, I don't know if I like that. We'll see if it holds 75. 75 is the next support level, but yeah, you see it broke under 78, started pushing this drop. See, it broke under that 78-cent area. See, it couldn't hold that 78-cent area, and then it just dropped. I'm watching TENX to see if this one can break over that $0.50. Guys, check out CCIH. CCIH, fellas. Look at that flag. Or look at that big push. Maybe I'll try to get in on a pullback. We'll see what this one does. Ooh, TENX broke over that $0.50. And might get in CCIH here for this pullback. It just had a big push. I'm going to wait for it to consolidate a little bit. Alright, so I'm in CCIH with 50 shares at $1.23. I'm going to set a relatively tight stop loss with this one at 115 for a $5 loss. And I'm going to go watch TENX. Yeah, I'm watching TENX to see if it can break over that 53 high of Friday. There it goes. Watching TENX, guys. This one's breaking over Friday's high. We'll see what TENX does. There it goes. Alright, I'm in TENX with 200 shares. I think I chased this one a little bit too late, but I got in right when it broke that high of Friday. There we go, up to 55, 56, 57. All right, I set a stop just under 54 cents. So we'll see if this one can keep pushing up for a $1 loss. Looks like my CCIH trade is starting to push nicely too. All right, so I'm going to set a stop loss for my CCIH trade for a break even. And for a 250 loss, we'll set it right at 120. All right, you can see my CCIH trade is working. There we go. Big push on CCIH. Go ahead and get out this one. Well, I'll let this one run, I guess. Yeah, I'm watching the CCIH trade to see if it can hold over that $1.30 area. If not, I'm just going to get out for a relatively break-even trade. I want to see if CCIH can test that $5 or that $1.50 area. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and set my stop loss for the CCIH trade under the $1.30s at $1.29 or 28 cents for a $1.50 profit. So for a break-even trade on CCIH, we'll see what that one does. So I know I'm not going to lose money on CCIH. I might not make any, but I won't lose money on it. Go back to my TENX trade to see if this one will keep pushing up. Yeah, with both of these trades, I have my stop losses set at comfortable spots. If CCIH can't hold over this $1.30 area, I'm going to get out at $1.28 for $1.50 profit or something like that. And so I'm relatively safe in this trade. I want to see it push up and try to test that $1.50s area, but this $1.30 area is the key area for it. And then this TENX trade, I got in a little bit late. I should have got right. I was watching it to see if it would break that $0.50 point, and I got in at I don't know where I got in this TENX trade at, but I got in a little bit late. Yeah, I got stopped out of CCIH for a $1.50 profit. Yep. So I didn't lose anything on CCIH. I'm watching TENX now with my 200 shares. See if it can break that 57-cent area. There we go. That's nice. 57. See if it can keep pushing. There we go. Nice. That's what I like to see. I'm gonna go ahead and take half. Well, maybe not. I'm gonna see if it can keep pushing up. Possibly get into that 56-cent area. There we go. There we go, 59 cents. Go ahead and get out this one for $8.50 profit on TENX. All right, so I'm down about $3 on the day now, maybe $2. I don't know. I made $2 on CCIH, which was really only $1. So I'm down $1 on the day after CCIH. HMNY. Let's see. So let's see if RPRX can hold over the 78-cent area now for a rebound. Yeah, HMNY. To be honest, I don't really like HMNY just because my past experiences with HMNY, it has a lot of fake outs, and it's just a really crazy random stock. Like, you want to find stocks that have statistically shown that they are reliable and that they have easy to understand patterns that you can see. HMNY is not one of those. HMNY is kind of crazy, a lot of fake outs, big drops when it does drop, and so HMNY is one I don't really like to trade very often. I made a little bit of money on it on Friday, jumping in at a breakout point, but it's just not my cup of tea. Nothing against you if you like trading it. I just don't like trading HMNY. It's just a little bit too fake outy. Looks like I got out at the right spot on TENX. What program, Ernie? What I'm trading with? My chart program on the right or my trading platform on the left? If you're wondering what my trading platform is, it's UStock. UStock Trade. It's a peer-to-peer broker. $1 commissions, $1 a month. And so, but there's no leverage, there's no buying power, there's no shorting. It doesn't have every stock available, so it does have its cons, but overall, the pros are better than the cons, and so it's still worth it for me, especially for new traders. If you want to use really small sizing like I do, if you've watched my trades so far, I use tiny sizing like 50 or 100 shares because I'm still learning to trade, and that's the most important thing, guys, is being consistent more than how much money you make. And so it's called UStock trade. Oh, on the right, Ernie, that's Thinkorswim. TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. It's free. If you sign up for TD Ameritrade, you don't have to deposit anything. But once you sign up and your account gets approved, you can just download Thinkorswim. It's a charting platform, but it also has a ton of other stuff available. If you go to my videos, Ernie, I go over some of the cool stuff that Thinkorswim has. Go to the video called How to Get Benzinga Free. It's a video, I think I published it on Saturday, so go check that one out if you want to kind of hear about Thinkorswim. It's a cool platform, 100% free. All you got to do is sign up. So BLDP, guys, is starting to push back up. It broke over today's high. Not a huge range for BLDP, but I will check it out anyways. I'm watching BLDP for that $0.50 break at the 550s to see what that one will do. So it looks like TENX might have just been a pullback where I exited, but I can't get mad at my $8 or $9 profit from TENX. I'm happy with it. So Ashwin, I actually have two monitors. I have two 27-inch monitors, and so you can only see the first one, but on the right I have 6 more charts up, so I can see, I watch 7 or 8 charts at a time. I also use my laptop, and so really I have 3 screens that I watch charting on. You can only see one of the monitors, my left monitor. On the right side, I have another 6 charts up, so really I have 10 charts up on my computer at once, so I can watch it that way and just kind of see what's moving. That's how I noticed BLDP, because I had that chart up already. And so, that's how I noticed that one. So I'm watching BLDP to see if it builds support where that previous resistance was at the 540 area. And so if it can hold over that 538, 539 area and then go for that $0.50 break, look, this one has the $0.50 break as well as the break of the pre-market high right here at 549. And so if it can get over that, it might be a good momentum play. We'll see, though. See, it looks like TENX is testing that 60-cent high, that 59.75 high. But yeah, I'm watching BLDP to see if it uses that previous resistance as support and possibly test that 550 $0.50 and pre-market high break at the same time. So I'm watching that one. Yeah, Ashwin, Thinkorswim's an awesome platform, man. It's 100% free. It's got a bunch of cool stuff. You can even play Tetris and Minesweeper on it if you get bored in the market. There's a bunch of cool stuff. You can watch CNBC live while you trade. Open up a window and go to Trader TV. It comes with free Benzinga Squawk, so you can hear live news alerts, and it's free as well. Whereas if you didn't have Thinkorswim, Benzinga Squawk is like $200 to $300 a month. And so it's a good deal. All you got to do is make an account with TD Ameritrade and download it. You don't even have to deposit anything. So, yeah, check it out, man. It's awesome software for traders. Yeah, so I'm still watching BLDP to see what this one does. See if it can make that push up. Looks like RPRX broke over that 78-cent area for a split second. OPGN starting to push up. It broke over Friday's high at 32 cents. And so we'll see what this one does now. They say ANY is bouncing as well. ANY bounced off of $3. Yeah, so check out OPGN, guys. Broke over Friday's high was right at 32 cents, so it broke over that. We'll see if it can base over that and hold it as support. Wasn't somebody saying something about BLDP earlier? I thought somebody was saying something negative about BLDP earlier. Let me look at the daily chart. Oh, it's a good daily chart. It's up a decent amount, but it broke over that 533 area. So we'll see if it can push up and break that 550s area right here. This is that key support level. That's where I'm really interested in it, is if it can break over that 549 and $half area at the same time. HMNY is bouncing a little bit. See, OPGN's making that push. It's a little bit slower. We'll see. Yeah, I might jump in RPRX and just kind of set a stop loss at 73 cents and just kind of hold it with maybe 50 shares to see if it starts pushing up towards that 90-cent area. Just for a little bit longer term trade, I don't know. If you watch my video from Friday, you'll see that's something I'm kind of working on, is letting my winners work for me a little bit. See, OPGN pushing up like I thought it would. It broke over that 32-cent point. It's breaking over the high of today now at 32, just under 33 cents. So we'll see what that one does as well. So Ernie, it's $1 a month for your subscription to UStock, and it's $1 per trade in and out. So if I buy some shares, it's $1. If I sell some shares, it's $1. And so in and out, a full position, getting in and out is $2. And then plus it's $1 a month for the subscription to UStock. So it's pretty cheap. You know, that's why I use such small share sizes, because I'm still learning, but I'm able to use small share size and profit because commissions are so cheap I can do it. Helps me work on, getting in the right patterns and actually trading well instead of worrying about how much I'm going to make. I'm down $2 on the day so far. We'll see if I can have one more winning trade to kind of bounce that back up before I exit the stream. But yeah, UStock is great. It has its problems for sure. It definitely has problems with limit orders. It's really tough to place limit orders on UStock. But overall, it's not a deal breaker for me. So, we'll see. Looks like stuff's starting to slow down a little bit. HMNY starting to push back up over 17. Yeah, it doesn't look like BLDP is going to get that volume push. It might a little bit later in the day, but it doesn't look like it's going to get that push that we're looking for. NSPR. NSPR is flagging nicely. You can see that flag. It's hitting 50 cents now. Limited liquidity on UStock, man. So I'm watching NSPR. See if it can hold that previous support at 48 cents, or that previous resistance as support at 48 cents, to see if it can make a push for that $half break at 50 cents. Watching that one. Watching BLDP. It's slowly grinding up. I want to see if it can break that $half. So we'll see. So Ashwin, other than price action, to be honest, I really just like using price action. I used to use the EMAs and VWAP and all that stuff, but I usually just try to stick to price action. I noticed that when I tried to base it off of the other indicators, I just didn't do as well. And I'm not hating on anybody that uses indicators. I think indicators are valuable, especially like the 13 EMA is probably my favorite moving average, the 13 EMA. I think it's the most reliable moving average, the 13 EMA. But, I just noticed with my own trading style that I like trading price action more than anything, more than any other indicators. And that's not to say indicators don't work and that if you're using them, you're wrong. I may be wrong for not using them. I don't know. I like to use price action. That's usually what works well for me. Over everything else. And so sometimes I'll use the VWAP, sometimes I'll use the 13 EMA, but I usually just try to stick to good old-fashioned price action. So all right, so there goes BLDP making that push I was looking for. Might jump in with 50 shares since it's moving a little bit slow. We'll see. Hop in with 50 shares. Try to get in, looking for that push. Pretty safe trade, only 50 shares. I could set a stop loss at the 540 area for a $5 loss. So ultimately it's a safe trade. 539 is where I'm at now for my stop loss. We'll see if we can make that push. Still got a lot of room. I'll end up holding this one and let it work for me a little bit. Watching TENX, it's starting to curl back up towards that high of the day at 60 cents. And so yeah, this is just kind of a see if BLDP will break over that pre-market high and that $half. It's got a lot of resistance there, so it's not moving that much. The range isn't that large for BLDP, so I'll just hold it, see if it can make that push like I'm looking for, make a few bucks, and then get out if it can break over. Here we go. It's at 549 now. I'll probably end up holding BLDP for a little while, see if it'll work for me. Watching NSPR. It's right at that 50-cent area, so we'll see if it can break over that 50.5-cent point. Try to give BLDP a little while to work for me. HMNY starting to push up nicely towards that high of the day. High of the day is at 1755, so we'll see if it can break over it this time. We'll see. Try to clear some of these windows. Wow, look at that drop on TENX, man. Big drop, look at this. Wow, huge drop. Glad I didn't get caught in that one. So I'm watching HMNY to see if it can break that 1750 half-dollar area. I know Team Blue, that's what I was just saying. Man, that's a huge drop for TENX. Big drop. See, I'm glad I got out right there. I got out at like 59 cents for like a $9 profit, $8.50. $8.50 profit is what I made from TENX. It looks like I got out right at the good spot because that thing took a wash. Big drop. We'll see if it can rebound some, but that's such a big pullback. I don't like it for the rest of the day, most likely. I don't know if I'll get back in TENX today. Still watching BLDP. I'm in it with 50 shares at 47 cents. See if it can break that $half pre-market high and at the 550s. Might get a big jump of volume if it can break it. It's sitting right at that pre-market high, so we'll see. Regardless, it's a very risk-free trade. I'm only going to lose $5 if it goes all the way down to stop me out at 539. And so we'll see what that one does. I'll hold it for a little while, let it work for me a little bit. IMUC until tomorrow. You know, to be honest, small, I'm not really the best experienced swing trader, so I don't really feel comfortable giving advice, you know. I only have one strategy that I really use for swing trades, and that's if the stock has a relatively slow morning and then the volume picks back up and gets really high, and it pushes up to the high of day right before close. That's usually my only swing trading strategy that I implement, and it's worked fairly well so far. So because of that, I can't really, you know, give you advice on IMUC just because I'm just not that experienced of a swing trader. You know, I don't want to give you the wrong advice for it. You want to look at the daily chart with this one, and see what it does, but I can't really say for sure. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Smalls-ish. Yeah, BLDP finding a little bit of resistance at that $half, which was to be expected, I guess. Yeah, but with swing trading, you really want to use the daily chart. That's what you want to look at the most. And so you want to see if it can break over, well, it's still got a lot of room. If it can break over this 46-cent area, it might be decent, but we'll see. You never really know. And I'm just not experienced with swing trading, so I don't really want to give you the wrong advice, you know. NTNX starting to flag. If it can break over that 23.64 cent area, it might run. We'll see. I'm going to set my stop loss for BLDP and change it to $5.44. because if it breaks under that 544 area where that previous support was, I'm going to get out. 543 for a 350 loss. That's what I feel the most comfortable with. CLNT. Yeah, CLNT looks good. I want to see it break that $0.50. If it can break that $0.50, it's got a little bit of room up to the 80s. Possibly testing that $8 area. Alright guys, I got about 10 more minutes left of the stream, so we'll see if I can get into one more thing to be green on the day. Yeah, I'm watching CLSN. Oh wow. See, yeah, I do like that. Might be a good dip buy here, depending on how big this dip is. See, that's that key level at 365 where this candle ended right here. So we'll see. We'll see if we can hold that 365 area. Yeah, you see that key level right here at 365. We'll see what this one does. If I do get in CLSN, it's going to be a really small share size, just because this thing has a big those last 3 candles were pretty big, so we'll see what this one does. Watching CLSN really closely. Might get in if it breaks 375 with like 20 shares. Yeah, I got stopped out of BLDP for a 250 loss. So I'm down $5 on the day. You see where that previous resistance was right here at 365. We'll see if this one can hold over that 365 point. You see how it dropped down and touched here? So that's the key level, is 365. We'll see what this one does. Yeah, Andre. If you notice, my first trade is usually a losing trade. So those first green candles. But my first trade was actually on CLNT. And so it was actually a decent trade idea, and it was the right trade idea. I just got spooked out of it and exited too soon. But a lot of traders limit themselves to they wait for the first 15 minutes to pass after the open, to get in anything, just because it's so sporadic and crazy, right at the open. So I'm going to close this stream down right after, at about 9:45, maybe a little bit later than 9:45. So we'll see if I can get into anything before then. If not, I'm going to shut it down. Still watching CLSN to see if it holds that 365 area. Just dropped to 364. If it drops under it for a split second and then bounces back, that's okay. But if it stays under 365, that's when you got to start worrying about it. NTNX starting to run up. So if I do get in CLSN, I'm going to get in with 20 shares and I'm going to set a stop loss at 365 where that previous support was. Maybe 364 since that last red candle dropped to 364 really quickly. Still watching it though. Don't know if I'm going to get in it yet, but possible. There it goes. Alright, so I'm in at about 380 with 20 shares. I'm going to go ahead and set a stop loss at 360. Give this one a little bit of time to run. Possibly making it up to $4. I used a little bit too small a share size with this one, I think. See, I think I used just too small a share size with this one, guys. I can add another 20 shares, I guess. We'll see if it holds over this 375 area. Having some trouble at that 380 area. We'll see if it keeps pushing. I think I just used a little bit too small a share size with this one though. A little bit too late to add now. We'll see if it works. See if this one can test $4. That's the ultimate plan with this one, to see if it can test that $4 area. I use too small a share size. If I use a little bit larger share size, I would be up a decent amount, but ahead and let this one run. Set a stop loss at about break even. Alright, well, looks like it's going to test 4. I'll just hold it through. I got a stop loss set at break even for this trade, so we'll see what this one does. See if it'll ride up over 4. Man, I wish I would have used just at least 40, 50 shares with this one. I could have made some money on it, but I just got in with too small a share size. ONTX. Yeah, that looks like a nice one. I'm going to go ahead and hold CLSN to see if it breaks 4. But yeah, ONTX looks like a good entry. Andre. See, that's the problem. My trade idea was right for CLSN. I just used too small a share size. Might as well just let it run. ONTX looks like it's a good trade. Man, look at that pullback on CLSN there, man. That's a big pullback. I mean, I'm keeping my stop at 380 for break even, so I'm not going to lose money on it. I'm just going to let it see if it can keep pushing up so I can make a little bit more from it. It's probably going to keep dropping, though. I'll probably get stopped out. I do like that ONTX trade, though, Andre. That was a good trade. So there's CLSN breaking over 4 again. I'm still holding it. We'll see if CLSN can test that high of the day at 410. Man, don't like that drop. There we go. Testing 410 now. My son's crying. I'm going to have to go deal with him. Yeah, I'll probably end up exiting CLSN here. What's up, Ali? Yeah, UStock is good, man. It's a decent platform. Anyways, guys, with all that being said, I think that's the end of the stream today. I'm going to keep holding CLSN until I get stopped out at 380 to see if it can hold over $4 still. So good luck for the rest of the day, guys. Nice trade on ONTX, Andre, and we'll see what happens. I'm currently down about $3 after CLSN. $5 depending on how it works out, but it's at a break-even trade, so we'll see if this one works out. We'll see if I can get into anything else to be up on the day. I'm only down $5, so we'll see what happens, guys. Be sure to come check out our stream tomorrow morning at 8:45 a.m. for the pre-market stream, and good luck in the market for the rest of the day, guys. Thanks for watching.